Hi everybody, Mark P. Summers here, and this is part 2 of our two-part series with Caroline from Bubbly Maths. Hi Caroline.
Hi.
So in part 1, and if you didn't see it, there'll be a link in the description below, and one day I'll learn how to put a link up here, but until then, the link's in the description below. And in part 1, we created a prompt to be using an AI app builder called Famous.AI, and we are going to use that prompt to now create the app itself. The prompt builder took the idea, which was a long-term idea that Caroline's had, that Bubbly Maths as a entertainment company that helps people make maths fun in schools and organizations, take that idea, flesh it out with lots of other features, and then turn it into an app. And so that's what we're going to be doing now. We created that prompt. If you want to see how we created that prompt, look in my channel for part 1. As I say, the link is in the description. And what we're going to do now is take that prompt, and here's my screen with the prompt on that we created in that call. So we're basically going to create an application called Bubbly Maths. This app is designed for children aged 7 to 11, their parents and their teachers. Features will include a free interactive mathematical games using shapes and puzzles. Users profile for children, parents and teachers have 3 different roles of users. Progress tracking, leaderboards, in-app rewards and streaks, because everyone likes a good streak. One that is involving awards, not a streak across a football pitch, just to be clear. OpenAI powered mathematical entertainer chatbot called Bubble. So this is going to be a little chatbot that is going to be powered by OpenAI that's going to allow people to interact with it, but it's going to restrict their conversation to be relevant to mathematical things. The parental dashboard where they can view their children's progress, and teachers' resources with lesson plans and activity guides. Okay, the app is going to be free to use. The whole point of this is to interact with potential and current clients and to hopefully increase that book of business. And then we're going to be using the OpenAI API so that we can connect Bubbles, the chatbot, to a knowledge base so that it can interact with their users. We took the colors from the website, and let me go ahead and pull up that website now so we can see what we are dealing with, for 2 reasons. Because I also need to just grab this logo. Awesome. And then back here. Okay, and so we're going to be using the colors from the logo. We want rounded corners and round bubbly type shapes, nothing square, because bubbles and balloons.
Because we're not square.
They're not square. Well, they can be square. I've seen you make a square bubble.
That's true, and it does have pointy bits in it. That's fair enough.
If you wonder how Caroline and her team can make square bubbles, go and look at her YouTube channel, which I'll also link in the description, because there are some pretty impressive things that she does with bubbles, including making square bubbles and bubbles with smoke inside and all different things. Anyway, moving on, we're going to be uploading 4 photos and the logo to be used on the site, just to make it as usable as possible. And we're obviously going to be using Supabase for our authentication, storage buckets, secret storage keys, and back-end functions. And so Supabase is a back-end database solution, very, very powerful, worth millions, if not billions of dollars as a company. And so we choose Supabase as a back-end solution just because of their stability in both the web app and the mobile app market. Okay, so we're going to add those images to the prompt, and that is the logo and oh, the logo was already there, so we don't need to add that twice. The logo and 4 images that Caroline decided that she would like included in the site somewhere. Okay, and this is going to create us a minimal viable product of that specification. We're going to see
We
one, how fast it takes to create it, and then we're going to see two, what else we need to do to kind of make it more towards this specification. So there are going to be things in the first iteration that are just more visual as to how it could work rather than actual functional, and then we're going to have to code those things out, not code them out, it's a no code builder, we're going to have to prompt them out to make things work. But let's see. First of all, are you ready, Caroline?
Yes, I have a question,
Yes,
which will be relevant to other people too. So I see that I sent you two almost identical pictures. Oops.
yes.
Will I be able to change that easily once it's
Absolutely,
created?
that's a very good question. So yes, we're going to basically be using these four pictures as placeholders, and then anytime you can change anything in your website just by sending prompts. So you will say, could you please change the first picture that appears on the homepage from that picture to this picture, and then just upload another one, and it will then do that for you. You can also give it more instructions like, could you crop it into a circle so it doesn't have square edges,
Oh,
etc.
yay.
etc. So, all right, here we go. Drum roll, please. Here we go. We're going to press go. And this is going to take us into the builder. It's sending the prompt, and it's already started the generation of this web app. So just to clarify, there are three different options with Famous when you're creating an app. There is a web app, which is a web-based app that can still be used on a mobile using the mobile browser, but it's also more widely available to be able to be used in the other devices such as a desktop, laptop, or iPad, and so forth. The other thing is there's no barrier to entry with a web app because you don't have to install anything. You just click on a link and there it is already in it.
Okay.
And so then there's the web app. There's a mobile app. A mobile app is a native mobile app that can be installed on the iPhone or on Android, and it's placed in the App Store to be able to do that. There's a big barrier to entry to do that. You need to be an Apple and a Google Play developer, registered developer. There's a few hoops you need to do to get that in place. And then you need to get your app approved, where Apple and Google will go through everything in your app and make sure that it's stable and that it's not going to cause harm to the user's device, etc. And then the last category of app that we can develop is a crypto app. And that isn't something I'm going to be covering anytime soon because we're too busy covering web and mobile apps. But crypto apps allows you to even create your own cryptocurrency if you wanted. So Caroline,
I can have bubbly mass cryptocurrency.
you could have a bubbly math coin, dollar
Bubbly mass coin.
bubbly maths, or dollar balloon, or dollar bubble, and yes, people could.
It has to be dollar bubbly mass. Has to be dollar bubbly mass.
Yeah. So that's what the crypto app allows you to do, is actually even create your own. I wouldn't advise it. There's far too much skepticism around all these millions of coins that are being developed. I mean,
It's a lovely idea. I am so not doing it.
all right, let's look through what it's doing here. It's telling us where it is all the way through. So up here, it's creating the app.tsx file. The app.tsx, you don't really need to understand what all these are, but the app.tsx file is kind of the guts of the app. It tells the back-end builder where all the parts are and what parts were being used. It's creating a chat view. It's doing a great job here. It's already creating a sidebar. It's creating a game card, the header of the app, and so forth. So it's really understood the specification that we gave it. And again, let me just, and then now it's creating a simple game. with basic addition problems, which is something you didn't really want, addition problems.
Yeah.
But you know,
That's very normal with AI that if you say maths, they give you arithmetic.
sure. And that's something we can work with later. It will put whatever it's decided this fun game is it as a placeholder, and then we can say, okay, now we want to change that to a shape-based game, and maybe give it a little bit of a spec as to what we want that shape-based game to be. Okay,
I
and that
have a question. I have a game that's working out really well that was created by a colleague of mine. Is there a chance of actually making that game? I know you don't know the game, but can I take a game and somehow create it?
so is it a web-based game already?
Not yet,
No, yeah.
no.
If you can describe what the functions of that game are, it will then be able to create that. Now, let me just be clear. This isn't going to create Roblox or Fortnite by you saying I would like a clone of Roblox or Fortnite. That's not the type of work that any real AI app builder can do. But what it can do is deal with web-based functions that you can describe. Okay.
Yeah, this is just numbers on a grid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Okay.
Absolutely. So a friend of mine actually used an AI app builder to build a word search, which I know is letters rather than numbers, but it had a whole load of functionality around how that word search worked online. And it's all just about describing it as best you can and then seeing what it iterates and then make any changes. Say, I love what you've done, but could you change this to this? Could you change this to this? Or this isn't quite doing what I expected. Could you change this feature to this feature?
Okay. That's
And
very encouraging.
it's all about being as descriptive as possible. What with an AI app builder, one thing that's really really cool is it can look at screenshots. So you could take a screenshot of an area of your website, and if it can see that, and then you can say, in this area of the website, the button that says, go to games is currently not working and not connecting to the game. Please ensure that this go to games goes to the games dashboard where it lists all my games. And
Are you serious? Okay, I love
you
it.
literally just describe it as best you can in plain English. You don't need to be technical. You don't need to say the button with the CSS class game button underscore number 6, needs to say this and be activated with a href, blah, 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 lots of acronyms and so forth. You don't need all of that. Just talk to it as if you're talking to a developer who's building this for you.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so it's still writing little bits, creating a reusable game card component with animations and a bubbly design. Okay, that'll be fun to see.
Okay. Reusable game card component. I can't wait.
So AI app building is great. Sometimes it tells you on the left here what you really want to hear, and then you see on the right going, animations, and so you might need to reprompt it. Bear in mind that what we're using here is something that wasn't available 6 months ago. This is all brand new technology. And
Was
so,
it available 2 months ago?
well, this particular app that I'm using came out 6 weeks ago. It's now June the 26th, and it came out 6 weeks ago. And so it is very. No, I do not want to update my scan snap right now. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's fine. Bye bye. All right. So it was building all the app. It ran into an error. Now, instead of like a normal developer's app that they're writing code in, when you get an error, it just goes, I got an error. This had an error, and then it's like, well, don't worry, I'll go and research that error and I'll fix it. And boom, there is our first iteration of our app. It has listened to the colors. We've got lovely rounded corners. Apparently, we have 3 amazing games: the Shape Explorer, the Number Bubble Pop, and the Math.
Can't fight that. It's a popular game.
Say that again.
Bubble Pop is a popular game. Can't fight it. Not going to fight that one. And look, it's even got that. I know it paid attention to the fact that I wanted shapes. Shape Explorer.
Yeah. So now these we're going to see what happens when we click play now in a little bit, but let's keep going. We can meet Bubbles, the AI powered math companion. We're going to check that out in a little bit.
I want to meet Bubbles.
We're going to yes, and we're going to get started today. It's free, so let's just see what we'll start at the bottom. What happens if we click this? Nothing. Okay, good. That's a good start. Parental dashboard won't have anything on just yet. Let's see what happens when we chat with Bubbles. Nothing. Okay. Meet Bubbles. Nothing. All right. We're getting there. Let's go and look at some of these games. Okay. Nothing.
Is it still working in the background?
No. It's finished.
Screen.
It's finished right now.
Okay.
It's basically given us a shell, which is great. It's listened to everything that we've told it that we want it to listen to. Let's do this. Let's open it in a larger window just so we can see everything. The sign in doesn't work because we haven't connected it to Supabase yet. We've asked it that we're told it we're going to use Supabase, but we haven't actually connected it to Supabase, which is the next thing we're going to do is say, can we now connect this to Supabase? What an AI app builder does is when you create your MVP, you're kind of, you're starting out, it's going to use what we call mock Supabase or mock data. And it's kind of puts those in and I'm going to use another acronym I'm sorry, but it puts it in an XML file, which is kind of like a mini database file that's just in your website. We wanted to stop that pretty quickly and pretty early on because it's pointless developing mock data and then have to reconnect it to real data later on. And so our first prompt, right now, we've created all of this with one prompt.
Yes, so that one prompt that we developed in the last session. Wow. Hasn't been modified at all. What we came out with at the end of the last session has generated this.
Yes. This is what our brainstorming session created, which for that minimal viable product, the MVP, once we get all this working, right now it's just holding space, but once we get all this working, on a scale of, 1 to 10, how impressive is this?
Well, I'm well impressed. Yeah, definitely. I'm at a 10 without a doubt.
I was about to say, you're a maths person. I asked you for a number between 1 and 10, and you just answer, "I'm well impressed." That that's not a number.
I'm sorry. Numbers 1 to 10 just don't do it for me. A 10 is a pretty rubbish. I mean, it's a great number, but it doesn't convey what I'm feeling right
fantastic
now. So
fantastic is a good thing. So we're gonna go back and we're not gonna on this call. We're not gonna flesh out everything. There's plenty of other videos in my YouTube channel on how to do certain things and everything else. So we're not going to flesh out too much, but we are going to give it one more prompt. So this is now prompt number 2 of our app building, and in this prompt we're going to say this is a great start. I love giving it a bit of feedback, rather than just constantly just demanding I need this. I love to give it a bit of feedback, and to be honest, if it misbehaves, I also I'm not shy in reprimanding it as well. But in this case, it did a great job. This is a great start. None of the links go to their respective pages. Please fix that so I can see all the wonderful other work that you have done.
Oh, you're definitely validating the little person.
Please also connect to Supabase for real and move any mock Supabase data into the new project.
Wow.
Please make the login system work with Supabase authentication, and please, where did those photos, he didn't use the photos in any way.
Oh, I don't see them. Yeah,
Yeah,
good
so
point.
please
I love the color scheme though.
replace the B in a circle in the header. So here we're just using plain English to say what we want to,
Yeah.
with the logo, which I have reattached for ease. Okay, and then we're just going to click on this little icon here, go find that logo. It's going to upload it and attach it to the message. And so here again, in one prompt, we're asking it to do 1, 2,
Loads of
3,
things.
4 more things. Now, you
Yeah.
don't want to write another major big prompt and say, now I want you to do all of this. Okay? All right, so this is where it's now wants to
So
connect.
you've just done that and you're saying you don't want to do it. I'm a bit confused.
No, no, what I've done is 5 things, not 500 things.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say 5 things. Yeah, but the thing is, because you have to evaluate what it's done before you give it loads of other things to do, otherwise you get lost.
Absolutely. And you can't keep track. If you give it 20
Yeah.
things, now you're going to have to go, well, did it do all of those 20 things? These
And
5 things are.
which one of them? Yeah, and if
These
something went wrong, you need to be able to identify what part of it.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
these 5 things are also kind of interrelated to the Supabase database and everything else. So
Okay.
my Famous.AI app is already connected to a Supabase account. And so if yours wasn't, if you're starting out, at this point it would say, please set up a Supabase account. It gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do that. And there's a link to go off to Supabase. You create your Supabase account. It tells you exactly how to get your API key. And then instead of seeing this prompt, you'll see a prompt that says, enter your Supabase API key here. And you place it in the screen, and it then will give you this prompt to then say, would you like to create a new account? Because if that's a new account, you can only create a new account. If we had worked on another project and we wanted to link your web app to another project, we could have done that because it would have been listed here. These are all the wonderful apps that I'm either working on or already finished. And then you'll actually recognize one in here. The My Jellycat Finder is an app that I'm working on in my spare time. For those of you who don't know, Jellycats are really gorgeous plush toys that are sold out of London, UK. And the My Jellycat Finder is an app, a mobile app that I'm writing that allows you to take a photograph of a jellycat, and it will then look through its database and see if it can identify what that jellycat is from the photograph.
Oh, wow.
So you might go to a charity store, see a jellycat there, and you're like, well, I don't even know which one this is. And you can take a photograph of it, and hopefully that's what I'm working on. It's taken me a while because I've got other client projects, and I like making money more than my own app.
What do
So
you call that? A passion project.
it's definitely a passion project. So in this case, we haven't got a project for Bubbly Maths, so we're going to create a new Supabase project for Bubbly Maths, and we don't have to do anything with this. We could have gone into Supabase, clicked new project, typed in all the details about the project and everything else, even started creating the tables. We could have done all that, but we have an AI app builder here that is going to do all that for us. And so there we go. It's successfully set up the Supabase project, and now it's continuing to add all of the configuration for that project into the back end of the app. So you're not even now
Okay.
having to worry about how do you configure this project. It's doing all that for us.
You didn't have to put in a password or a login or anything.
So you do have to do that the first time to connect your Supabase account to Famous, but my Supabase account is already connected And so now it's
Okay.
creating a project within my Supabase account that's already
Okay.
connected. Now that
Okay.
project has its own connection keys, but because Famous created that project for me, it knows what those connection keys are. So we don't have to worry about, you know, the connection keys for that particular project. It has all that underhand.
Okay. It's got, okay. So I've got three questions. One question is, where does it, can this be connected to my website?
This is going to be part of your website. Either,
Okay.
either this will be a link in your navigation to app.bubblymaths.co.uk, and then they'll go to this whole ecosystem. Um, or over
So can they
time,
get to it from my website?
say it one more time.
Can people get to it from the
Yeah, so
website?
on your website, which I believe is done in WordPress, you'll edit
Yes.
the menu and you'll just add a menu called app or web app, or
Okay.
you'll give it a name, bubbly tech or bubbly app or whatever you want to call it, and you would link that
Okay.
and it would then open up this. What other people
Okay.
do is they find that their app is now doing so much that their app just becomes their website. And
That's kind of my second question.
okay, sorry to jump ahead.
No, that's sort of yes, no, no, you're good. You just that's why
Tell me
you
your
are
second
you.
question, Caroline.
No, don't give me the satisfaction of asking it. Just keep answering it.
Yeah, so there's obviously things that are in this app, or sorry, things that are in your website that are not in this app right now. And so you would need to add more pages and everything else. How do you think you would add those pages?
I would ask the AI chappy
Yeah, you would,
person might not be a chap, might be a lovely it's a they
sure.
um to
You would,
to do it
yeah, you
for
would
me.
copy and paste copy the text from your website and paste it into the prompt and say, please add a page which is effectively going to be the home page. Please move the current homepage content into /app and add this content into the homepage. And here is a screenshot of the current page, and this is how I'd like it laid out. And it would then basically replicate what you already have, turn that into the homepage, move the app into /app, and now everything is within the one ecosystem.
So it's seriously instead of replace bubblymass.co.uk with
Yeah.
the app.
Once you're completely ready for it to go live, you would update your DNS, your domain name service for bubblymass.co.uk, and you would point it to the famous servers, refresh your browser, and now bubblymass.co.uk goes to what we're seeing here, or what you've now developed that you're seeing here.
How does that affect, the history thing that it's good to have had a good long history with
Well, the
Google and all that?
domain and the website is still there. You just got a new website.
So
So
you leave the website as it is.
no. You're moving the
No.
content that you need to keep into this. So
Yes.
so the website now is this, but it still has the content that was there before, but it's now just, rather than being delivered via WordPress, it's being delivered via this system. Now you do have a few. I know a little bit about your website. You do have your CRM that is baked into your website and other things. So for you, I wouldn't necessarily rush to move your website into this. But for people that don't have those complications of plugins that are important to the back office of your business, such as the CRM, that is worth thinking about. And so in your case, I would just have a link and I've got a tab still with your website open. So in here, you maybe would consolidate some of these so that you didn't have so many, but you would have sign into our app or whatever. That would
Yeah.
that
I'm
would be
working on the
there.
website, so that's changing and it has less items on the menu. So there is room for an app.
What is?
So question, you were talking about AEO versus SEO.
Yes.
Is that built, how does that work with the app?
So AEO, answer engine optimization, does require things like an FAQ and a knowledge base, and does require that to be formatted in a certain way. We haven't done anything in this app for AEO yet, but we can always add an FAQ and make sure that the coding in the back end has the correct schemas for answer engine optimization.
Okay, so people can find it, basically search and find it, and that can
Exactly.
be covered. Yeah.
So we're
Okay.
going to preview this in a larger window, and we're going to check what else it's done. It's done what we asked. It's added the bubbly maths here. We probably could then tell it that we don't need the words bubbly maths and the logo because it's kind of repetitive,
Yeah.
and get rid of that. The start playing now goes to a sub page with those games on, which it didn't do before.
Yeah.
So that's good. Meet Bubbles comes to a chat box. Now, we haven't yet connected OpenAI. We would do that, and there's a video in my in my YouTube channel on how to connect OpenAI. But we can have a chat. This is using a kind of a mock chat right now, but because you can see I just said hi and it said that's a great question. You know, it's just showing you how it would work. As soon as you connect it to OpenAI, then it's going to start being intelligent. In the back office, you would create what we call a bot training, and that bot training will give it its personality, tell it what it can and can't talk about. We would upload that frequently asked question, and we would train it on everything the Bubbly Maths as an organization does. And so that's all already. The dashboard, this is the parent dashboard, and then there's teacher resources is all here. Now, none of this has been yet connected up and made working, but now you just go through the process of prompting, and within, 50 to 60 prompts, you've now got a fully functional little back-end web app.
Right. Wow.
So there we go. That is how you take an idea, you use the AI prompt builder to create a prompt, you put it into Famous, and what have we done now? Just sent 2 prompts so far, and we've already got a pretty good structure on what, and we need to prompt it for these games, etc. But we're gonna run out of time if we go into that. But the next prompt I would probably send it, because I'm excited about these games, is can we make the number bubble pop game functional and create a way of that being a fun game, and just see what it does. What have we got? We got about 5 more minutes. Let's just be adventurous and ask it to do that. So the layout of the games page looks very clean. I love it. Could you now work on making the number bubble pop game functional and have a way for them to share their score?
Will it auto check that, or do you need to make functional, fully functional, not just function?
Oh, it's pretty intelligent. I spell things wrong all the time, and it knows what it's doing. It's a bit like Google. When you type something wrong, it's kind of, did you mean this? And so, yeah, I mean, it's nice to get it correct, because then it doesn't have to work out what you really mean. It knows what you mean because you've done it right.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, it's probably a good idea to once you write a prompt, just read through it and would I understand this? Have I got the context correct?
Yeah. Okay.
I think we have now. Thank you for spotting that. And so now it's going to go off and create this. So very, very quickly, we have created a web app, and we've got the look and feel exactly as we want it. We could work through by, just as we did with the logo, saying, could you replace this area with this photo? Could you do this with this and this with this, etc. but let's see what this does. And from there, you would then work on one feature at a time, get that the way you want it, then move on to the next feature, get that the way you want it. And very, very soon, you'll be ready for testing it with some friends and, hey, we've got this new web app we're developing, we're about to launch, can you please go in and test it? And don't ask them what to test, just go in and test it as a new user and to see what they find, and get them to just be as descriptive back to you and go, well, I went into the parent thing and it wouldn't let me add a child. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I haven't connected that up yet. Then you would work on that part. But you're not going to do it a single bit of coding. You're going to do everything just by plain English describing it to them. All right, so create the number bubble pop game component with functional gameplay and score sharing. That's what it's working on right now. It's writing back in that app.tsx file to add the root. The root is that / bubble pop game or whatever it's going to be, so that works. To support routing to actual games, good. So the game card is these little things here are called cards, and so it's designed in such a way that once you add more, they'll just flow into new lines. It's very fluid. This I don't want to do it for the screen share, but if I squash my browser to a mobile size, it would be completely mobile responsive right out of the box.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Um,
I'm shaking my head in disbelief and wonder. It's like, what is mind blown for sure.
So we didn't tell it that we wanted it to be mobile responsive, but look, I've shrunk it down and I've now got the hamburger menu sign with all the navigation. The boxes have now floated into a column of one, which makes it look very mobile friendly. We can move around and without telling it a thing about being mobile responsive, it's made it already very mobile responsive.
I suppose you just have to have that these days, don't you? Yeah, so it's good that it just does it.
Yeah, if your website doesn't work on mobile, and if I go to a website on my mobile and it doesn't look, I'm like, no, I'm done with you, and you don't want your clients doing that.
No.
All right.
Lots of words.
So let's just let this finish up, and then we will say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see more of these videos as we build them. And if you have any questions about what we built, add your comment below. And oh look, this is really rather cool. It's changed the ones that it hasn't built to coming soon, and then so it did that automatically. I didn't ask it to say, well, the ones that don't work, can you disable those buttons? It's used its initiative to do that. All right, and let's go play now. Start game. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but
my guess would be, I can't see the yellow ones. 11.
Oh, do I need to do it in order? 11.
Oh, possibly.
No.
Possibly.
Okay. Well, look.
You've got to work out the game, which is good. So actually you have
21.
To work out
Solve this. Oh, look. Solve this. 31. I need to find 31. 28. So this is mathematical. It's kind of fun mathematical, but it's still mathematical.
Oh, solve it. I see. 20 plus 8.
Yeah,
2
and
plus
then
18.
24.
I see.
No? Why doesn't 24 work? Isn't that 24?
Yes, it should be 24.
Okay. So here we're going to need it to say, can you put some instructions?
Oh, it's the wrong color, 24.
Oh,
I don't know.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why it would be, but
yeah. All right. So but we would want some instructions added down the bottom here. Okay. So don't click on red numbers, I guess, is part of the instructions. But there we go. I got 3 seconds left. Can I do another one? No. There we go. I got 40, and I can share my score, which is exactly what I asked it to do, and it's asking me who I want to share it with. So, so this is really cool. We do need to end the video. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Caroline, and we'll work offline and finish this off. So Thank you so much.
Thank, thank you. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Cheers.